everybody, I'm Keith. Thank you for coming, and I'm excited to try to tell you about our organization and convey really what it's all about. It's called the League of Amazing Programmers. We're building the future tech force, we like to believe. Yeah. So we're a 501c3 nonprofit. We have 12 sites in San Diego. And in addition to coding, we also are dabbling in electrical engineering as well. We focus mainly on grades 5th through 12th. We find 5th graders are ready, and this is different from other coding schools. 5th graders are ready to start actually coding in Java, writing Java code. Right? So we were founded by, move this thing over. So this is Vic Wintris and Diane Wintris. They founded the league. Vic was an engineer, electrical engineer, and he started many companies, and he wanted to give back to the community. So what he did is he took a Java course at UCSD Extension with yours truly, or Paul over here, and so he taught him everything he knew about Java, and after he went through the 4-level course at UCSD Extension, he started a coding class in his garage, right? So there was a lot of kinks to work out as he grew the school. He started getting just a few students in his garage, just having 3 classes. But over time, he was able to get more volunteers, and we grew into the school we are today, which I'll show you more about. Okay. So our mission is to, officially it's igniting young minds through code, right? We're giving access, support, and opportunity to the students so they can lead in today's ever-changing world, right? So we do that mainly through teaching them Java, right? So just to give you, just kind of set the scene a little bit, right now, only 45% of high schools are offering computer science education, which is pretty ridiculous considering how important it is. Also, there's some differences in who gets this computer science education. You can see this is students that are eligible for free and reduced lunch, which means in order to qualify, they have to have lower income. They are less likely to have access to computer science classes. So I joined the league 3 years ago, and what I noticed when I first walked into the classroom is really engaging, really exciting. I had been to other code camps, I've seen how other code camps operate, but I noticed the league was different in the level of engagement with the kids and just the nature of it. Like, we're going all the way with them, right? We're going long term. So we're taking these kids through a 10-level program, and we're going deep, right? It's not a very surface level program. Small classrooms, so the students get the attention they need. So 4 to 7 typically for one teacher. They have a strong connection, so there's a strong sense of community. There's an excitement and a lot of sharing going on with the programs and a lot of collaboration. So I was excited. So that was when I joined, when we had about 100 students. And this video is a little bit out of date. We are a nonprofit, we can't make videos all the time. So we've been using this video. And this is the school at about the time that I joined, when June Clark actually joined the program, and she started adding new curriculum, more engaging curriculum to Vic's curriculum. She was the first full-time employee, and I'm the second actually. So I'm gonna just play this video for you guys.
At the League of Amazing Programmers, we're inspiring young minds through programming. After going through our curriculum, our students are Oracle certified and ready to work. They have the skill to go into the workplace even without going to college.
What I like about the League of Amazing Programmers is that it's a league of amazing programmers. The teachers are amazing programmers, and the people who you program with are also amazing programmers in the making.
Coding is also one of my passions because with coding,
you can take a creative idea and you can really make something out of it.
I love it so much that I just like to put all of that time, all my free time into programming.
So I saw my brother doing some coding at home and I thought, hey, this is really interesting. So I started taking classes here and I really enjoyed it.
The league is pretty much heaven on earth for my 12-year-old self. The kids come here, they hang out with each other, they write games, they play each other's games, and there's a real sense of the joy of programming here.
The classroom it's always loud, it's always fun, people are always having a great time, you're never not having a great time, and I think it's just a really interactive experience, which is really different to normal school.
I think that the League of Amazing Programmers is a really good school because coding is going to be like the language of the future. It's going to be what you need to know.
8 years ago, my wife Diane and I decided we'd start a nonprofit school teaching kids Java. We've developed some wonderful relationships with parents, with students, and a great group of Java professional teachers.
I really love seeing the kids' faces and seeing their reactions once they've done the same thing.
Learning how to code is like maybe the most empowering thing possible.
All of our teachers, they're Java professionals and they all volunteer their time because they love programming.
Maybe it's a little frustrating at times when your code doesn't work, but then you figure out what was wrong, and then like you kind of feel, I don't know, joy over here with you because you figured it out and you feel like an expert programmer at that moment.
You'll never get bored of coding. It doesn't even have to be step by step. You can just do one thing, move on to the next thing, and you won't get bored.
My classmates are really cool and nice, and it's really fun to learn things with them, and we plan to start a company one day. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing the spark in a child's eyes when they realize that they have the power and the agency to influence and to create the digital world around them.
We started with a lot of fun little games. I got to program like Pong and Asteroids and stuff that was like actually fun to play, especially when you got to add your own little flair to it. As long as you're passionate about something, you're going to want to do it more and you're going to excel at it.
We teach in person once a week rather than remotely via the web, so that League students get the personalized attention they need to optimize their learning. Our curriculum uses a flexible, recipe and level-driven approach that inspires self-motivated learning and rapid achievement. Regardless of financial needs, join the League today and make a difference in the world and change your life. Join the League!
So that's kind of what the league was like when I joined it, and it was really exciting, really great. We had about 100 students. Since then, we've grown to about 500 students right now. So, and that's just in the last 3 years. So why Java? I don't really need to explain to you guys why Java is a great language, right, to learn. But some of the main reasons why we specifically focus on Java is because that's what's offered in the high schools, in the AP Computer Science exam. They need to know Java to pass that exam, so we focus on that. And also, it's just very versatile. It's a very powerful language, and it's one that we know they can, in the industry, they'll actually use, right? As opposed to something maybe like Scratch or something like that. So the way we do it is we have a 10-level program, and it kind of goes through 3 stages. One of them is just to get them in an introduction to get comfortable with object-oriented programming. After that, we focus on prepping them for the AP Computer Science exam, and ultimately our curriculum will lead them to Oracle certification. So we're trying our best to make the students into professional programmers. And we're succeeding a lot.
Question?
Yeah.
The Oracle certification exam, is that something that you have? Is it opt-in or do they actually take it?
They actually take it.
They actually take it. How many people have taken the Oracle certification exam?
It was like a really long time ago, count?
Yeah. You did Java 7? Okay, all right. So these are high school guys, high schoolers taking this.
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
right. So yeah, you can see level 0, we're just teaching them the fundamentals. We move right into object-oriented programming. Level 2, we get them to express the tools they've learned and they build their own game. Then we get into data structures and algorithms, getting them ready for the AP exam, and go into more advanced concepts. So I'll kind of go over that real quick. So for example, the way we do it is we have a recipe approach where the students have a set of instructions and they create a program, right? So every day they come into class, it's an hour and a half, it's once a week. They come in and they make something, and by the end of that class they have something to show. They have some kind of output that they can celebrate their achievement at the end of class. So here's one, it's called Terminator Cat, and it's got a little laser that shoots out of its eye. So here we're using processing. This is really great for doing visual type things, a lot of visual feedback, keeps the students interested. We also use Eclipse, and we also use IntelliJ, because some teachers are very passionate about IntelliJ. So yeah, like I said, we have OOP in level 1. We usually have them building GUIs, so they get different, so they can actually apply the concepts and see a working example of their programs.
They're doing that in FX?
In Swing right now, because it's legacy, but that's also a very controversial topic. Some people want to move to JavaFX, some people want to use Swing. Pretty much Swing is great because right out of the box it works, whereas JavaFX, maybe you have to like use Maven or something like that.
Have you thought about using BlueJ instead of IntelliJ, for example, so that they're actually forced to code the complete class and package and the class name and so on? In IntelliJ, you just fill out a wizard for the class name versus
We're not that sadistic. So,
well, I mean,
right.
BlueJ is quite nice to use.
Yeah.
Well.
There's some good things about BlueJ, and there's it. Right now we started with NetBeans and then we moved to Eclipse. Eclipse is where we're at now, where everybody's comfortable. There's a lot of strong pressure to move to IntelliJ. So I think it's just right now it's whatever works, whatever's simplest out of the box. We love Eclipse autocomplete. When you're a new student, you don't really need to understand every single import statement. It's not going to help you learn. It's not going to help you. If you have to type in an import statement on your first program, you're going to get bored and go home, in my experience. We're talking about 5th graders here, right?
Well, otherwise they just kind of tab complete everything they do, and then they won't remember kind of the types or the void, public void main method or whatever.
But I think sounds like you have a volunteer to come over to the league and help instruct.
No,
Yeah.
I think one of the principles is that assumption is easy to say from somebody who's a professional coder and you think back on how you learned and everything. But really, I mean, that's one of the things we're challenging is that the kids can do professional level at grade 5. So you wouldn't tell a professional, hey, go use BlueJ. You wouldn't tell them go, code from scratch. Don't autocomplete.
But that's taking a shortcut, so you kind of want to.
Right, but how you learn? Okay, it's too in depth. We could talk more later. But
Yeah.
we're challenging that assumption.
Okay.
I like that debate. I'm going to put you in a room with 5th graders.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you learn.
Don't do it with the 5th graders, but by the time you're junior and senior, they need to be able to write code. And if you click accept on everything, they won't be able to write it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
exactly. That's.
I mean, but 5th graders, I agree, you've got to keep their interest long enough
Well,
to actually
well,
do it regularly.
When you prepare for the AP Computer Science exam,
You
you're using paper.
And same with Oracle
You can't even
certification.
use-
So they're not cheating.
Yeah.
Trust me.
All of our tests are written exams. So there's no, they have to memorize it. They have to know
They have to know the
exactly the
syntax,
syntax.
right?
Yeah. So they won't get by. We actually have a module system, and at the end of each module we have a checkpoint. And if they're just relying on code completion and tricks to get by and fix this for me, they're not going to be able to pass the checkpoint. So yeah, level 2 games are really fun. They can be really complex. They're making them with different things, usually Swing, graphics API, and it's usually a pretty challenging project, pretty involved. They design it, they apply everything they've learned. This is some example games. We got like Reversey, the turtle and carrot in space game, and other kind of maze games and things like that. They all do whatever their heart desires. So
They inherited some of the stuff, or they're writing everything from scratch?
they write everything from scratch. Yeah. Right. They're not connecting directly to the, OpenGL or anything like that. They're using a swing framework for the graphics. Level 3 and 4, like I said, it's preparing for the AP exam, which they have to understand abstract classes, inheritance, concepts like that. They have to understand how to read algorithms, recursion, things like that. So this is what I really love about our program, is we teach them in level 6, they're learning how to collaborate. So this is, I just took a picture of this right before this presentation. This is a GitHub repository. The students use GitHub from day one, so they're pretty comfortable with GitHub. That's how they keep track of their code. Every day when they finish the class, they push their code to GitHub, and then they come back, pull it down, because they're not using the same computer or anything like that. So level 6, they're learning how to collaborate on a team. It's an important part of programming. They're using GitHub and making pull requests and creating branches and getting that experience right out of the gate. So this is an example. They're making a Discord bot, and you can see they're creating features. Some are better at naming them than others. So these are different features on the Discord bot. How many of you familiar with Discord? Okay, so Discord is like a Slack chat app, and so this is this is GitHub, yeah. How many of you are familiar with GitHub? Okay, good.
It's a source code repository online.
It's like a folder on the internet. Okay. Very good. Cool. So after level 6, where they learn how to collaborate, now they build something for someone or give back to the community. We call it the project for social good, right? So this was great. This was actually, the students decided to build an app for us, and they built an app to help us teach kids how to program a robot, because we have a robot competition every year. So they made an app where they can simulate this Roomba and simulate the code. That's pretty neat. So these are 2 girls. They built for their project for social good. They built an app for their nonprofit. They built a website, and it was for the garden club, right? Okay. Here we have another project for social good. This was done by our students in collaboration with Feeding America and San Diego Food Bank, and they made a map of all the places where somebody could pick up food, right? And this was actually used on the San Diego Food Bank website, so they actually used it. And since we've updated it to a new one, but there was a temporary time where we took down the link, and it was amazing to hear our phones ringing and people giving us feedback. Hey, where did it go? People were actually calling, asking, we need to pick up food, and also the employees were saying, hey, there's all these people that are calling us, and this app really helps us when it helps us help them how to find the food locations. So, all right, and these are the students that built it. So, 2 of them have gone to college. Lucas is now a junior in high school. At the time, I think he was in 8th grade, or I believe he was in 8th grade. But now he's one of our students. He was Oracle certified at a young age, and now he's making $62 an hour. And he's still in high school, and he's working freelance. And so this is one of the outliers, but just an amazing group of students there. And Lucas is still attending the league and still volunteering as well.
Who taught them?
Actually, this is
The teacher, yeah, I mentioned.
right here.
The teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, Star Trek fan.
What? Star Trek fan? Oh yeah.
Star
Oh
Trek
yeah.
fan.
They are fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a Star Trek fan if you haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah. My house is decorated with Star Trek stuff. Come on.
So yeah, this is Phil. He helped them build the app. He's more well versed in JavaScript and in other web technologies, and he guided them through that process. But yeah, it's amazing. This is more of our students. So level 8, we focus on the Oracle exam. We just study for the Oracle Associate exam, and we've had several people. This was last year, but we've had several people since then get their Oracle certification. So yeah, Lucas got it when he was a freshman, I believe. So it's a pretty incredible achievement for them. So
how much his hair grew.
yeah, that's actually his hair is actually pretty short. It's his brain that's feeling that. So those of you who aren't familiar with the Oracle exam, this is like the kind of question that you'd see. They're pretty painful to look at sometimes. But,
Okay, great. We want an answer in 30 seconds.
right. So how many believe it? Or I'll give you guys a second to look at it and see.
I got B.
Yeah, and then do it on purpose. They don't follow any naming conventions. Everything is just to mess with your brain.
Right.
And it's very black and white. It's hard to actually watch the code when you're taking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the heck?
So how many think it's A? How many think it's B?
I had B, but now I'm not sure.
I think it's
Maybe it's C.
Let's do it.
How many think it's C?
Or D.
D? 4? Oh, I see it.
So high schoolers are taking this test.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And this is one of the more mild questions actually.
So what's the answer?
Are you guys ready? Compile error? Okay, how many think it's A? How many think it's B? How many think it's C? How many think it's D?
What is the end of that?
How many think it's E?
I like the F.
How many think it's F? All right. The answer is B. Okay. So you didn't anticipate.
Color doesn't do
My
anything.
first
So you're not
guess was
setting
right.
a color.
Well, yeah, there's a couple things going on here. This is how cruel these are. These are not constructors, first of all. These have the void return type in it and things like that. So you were worried about them not knowing the little nitty gritty, but they actually have to. They actually have to know it pretty well to get past this exam.
I want to put that in my IntelliJ and see what happens.
Right. Yeah. It'll probably warn you to factor your code.
Tells you the difference.
Yeah. Okay. So in addition to just teaching kids code, we also want to expose them to things that they might not get a chance to see, right? So here we brought a group of students to Sony so they could see their workplace and kind of get a sense of what it actually means to be a coder and work at a company like Sony. There's some cool things they have lying around. I can't really give you any context for this.
It's Iron Man costume.
We also work really hard to get our students internships. This is an example of one of the internships we were able to set up with the San Diego Foundation, where we are actually paying these students to work at different companies. So these are kids from underserved neighborhoods that were getting this really valuable experience. So they were working in all sorts of tech jobs and interning there, but getting exposed to what it means to work at Viasat, or for example. So I'm going to give you a little video that kind of outlines our internship program that we did a little bit.
Uh-oh, error 5.
Do you have internet access?
Error 5.
He did.
Do you need internet access?
Yeah.
I think I got it. Let's see. Let's see.
Able to play with it.
Reboot,
Yeah, without
yeah.
full screen it played okay. Which is weird.
But you have to be in presentation mode to click the play button. No, no.
Huh.
Big error.
All right, so just imagine a really compelling video. Take you through. So what she describes is one of the students. This is she works at a company called Appfolio, and she describes one of the students, Oscar's experience as an intern working with their team, and they actually staged a mock interview for him, and she says that he did better than a lot of their other interviewees. So moving on. So yeah, we're growing all the time. 505 students as of the time of making this slide. We have 305 at Carmel Valley, and we have 200 at 10 other sites, right? So and that's how we reach into the community and go to the places that need programs like ours more. We're about 30% scholarship right now, and we're trying to lift that number.
How many sites in Carmel Valley? Is it just the one?
We just have one site.
Okay, one
But it's a
classroom?
big site.
Oh, okay.
It's like mini, or it's 6 classrooms.
Okay.
And it's about to be more, so.
Keith, what's that 47% thing?
So, yeah, 40% CAGR. This is means we're growing a lot. So,
compound annual growth rate.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a financial term.
Yeah, exactly.
Compound, it's pretty impressive. So, like I told you, when I started, it was 100 students, and it's just skyrocketed. And it's been pretty wild working at the league, because it's like working at any startup, I guess. You have to scale and figure out how to do this and make this work. And it's been really exciting for me. So I just took a screenshot of our Salesforce, 516 students apparently in the last month that we've served. That's including workshops. So one thing that we do, because we really want students that are going to succeed in our program, we'll do a week-long workshop before we have them enter, just to see if they like it, if they enjoy it. And that's the only requirement. And then they can get started.
So it looks like you have a 1 out of 4 female to male count kind of thing, 25%?
Yeah, 25% right now.
It's been higher, but
Yeah, it kind of goes up and down.
Depends on the class, like my class is 50-50.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
We find that, yeah, in the underserved communities, our male to female ratio is 50-50. And that's because in Carmel Valley, we'll have people seeking us out, and it tends to be male students seeking us out. Whereas if we go down to the schools, we have kind of a captive audience, and we can, get girls interested as well, who might not think it's for them, right? So yeah, these are all our different locations. We're in Carmel Valley, we're at the Downtown Central Library, we're at Malcolm X Library, we're at Logan Heights Library, we're at Gompers Preparatory Academy, we're at the middle schools, we're at the high schools, and what we're doing is we're actually creating these really great pipelines where they can continue our program, even if they can't come to Carmel Valley. They can start in middle school, and when they go to high school, we're also in their high school. So we get in all the feeder schools, and then we're in the high school, and we're seeing that work in San Marcos and also in the Hoover cluster, we call it. So this is our class in Carmel Valley. This is just one of the rooms. There's several different rooms separated by these glass panels. And we had some students come up here.
More Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't say Star Wars.
guess where those came from?
Did they come from you?
Actually, no. But
Okay.
I had some-
Okay.
Yeah, I gave him the idea.
Here's Downtown Central Library. This is Aaron's class. You might recognize him right here. There's actually several other students in the class. About 10. Is there 10 or?
We have 10 students.
10 students, right?
Wow. It was the largest. I think now you have a class of 30.
Wow.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
At some
Oh yeah. At Hoover we have 30.
Oh, wow.
Here's our setup at the Malcolm X Library. They let us come in and use their computers, and we have everything set up there.
This was last week.
Yes.
Right. This is very recent.
Pulling pictures off.
I didn't know that. They were
Okay.
taking pictures.
So yeah. In addition, we also have an annual robotics competition, and we're planning to do this IROC 2020. We're currently planning right now. Historically, the kids had reprogrammed Roombas. Vic Wintrust, the founder, was an engineer, and he made this interface board, and they could program originally Android phones, but he changed it to Raspberry Pis. And we also have some students participate who build their own robots as well. We're also participating in FTC Robotics. Is anybody familiar with FIRST Robotics? FIRST? So FIRST Robotics is a really, really popular international robotics competition where they build their own robots and compete to solve challenges. And the code for the robot's all written in Java, so it's kind of a perfect fit for our organization. The league is starting its first team. It's called Squash, because they're going to squash the competition. We participate in other events just to showcase our students. So we did Design for San Diego. It's a design competition where the students come up with different creative solutions to local problems. These students were trying to find a solution, or design a solution for parking. And we actually won first place in this competition. And it was a UCSD students and working professionals in the competition.
It's a $5,000 check.
Yeah.
How old were they? Or how old was the winner?
So Severa was a sophomore in high school, and I think DJ was in 8th grade, I believe.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
She's been at the school for a while.
At least the story I heard was that the judges didn't know how old when they were.
Totally anonymous. Yeah, it was totally anonymous.
That's great.
And they were like surprised, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's good.
Can you imagine? We also have a coding competition. So this is the coding competition we hosted at Force Point hosted it for us, where we came in and we had our students do coding challenges, and the Force Point employees acted as mentors, and they helped the students solve these coding challenges and compete against each other. It was a pretty fun event. So we also actually have recently partnered with San Diego Unified School District, and we're actually busing kids up from different schools all around San Diego, bringing them up to our Carmel Valley location and doing different engaging projects to get them interested in STEM. So this is a really cool one where they're actually using water, salt, aluminum, and copper. And can anybody guess what they're making with that?
Battery?
Batteries, yeah. Making batteries and actually powering LEDs with water and salt water. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so none of this would be possible without our volunteers. This is one group of volunteers at the league.
I know that guy.
There's a few of them. Okay, cool. So volunteers come in once a week, hour and a half, and really bring the what makes the league really valuable to the league, right? So that industry experience, they're bringing that to the students and really connecting them with how things are operating in the workplace, right? It's really, really valuable for them. It's a lot of students don't even get this in college, right? So they're getting this really, really close interaction with working professionals. And they're also contributing to our curriculum. All our curriculum is on GitHub. So they help us enhance our curriculum and continue to be more effective. Our volunteers come from many different companies around San Diego. So this is just one example of how we're impacting students. This is Oscar. He's now a UCSD student studying computer science. He was able to get his pass his Oracle certification. He would have never, by his own words, would have never started programming had it not been for the league. So it's pretty amazing. He was solving those challenges like that question that you guys just saw. Right? We have Isis. She just won the Girls Living STEM Award. So she is actually one of Michi's students over here. And she's been training at the Central Library. So hopefully I've been able to kind of convey what I really want the league, what our vision for the league is, and what we're trying to do and what we've been doing. This is our Carmel Valley location, where we have the majority of our students. So this is what I'm trying to create right here, the Hogwarts, the Hogwarts of coding. So hopefully, if any of you are interested in helping us create this, and continuing to expand our program, please contact me or any of the volunteers. Okay, so thank you very much.